So you are a heliocentrist if you were educated in Greece.
Heliocentrism, what's mean that?
It means that in school, most Western world schools, not just Greece and England, teach their kids an aspect of the Roman Catholicism
Oh,
church's model.
yeah.
So,
Correct.
yeah, so you're taught that you're on a globe and you're going around the sun, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's heliocentrism. It's the Roman Catholics' version of the sky tracking chart that they use to predict when Easter is, but they teach it to kids in school like it's real.
Yeah, but the same people, they killed the Galileos, and the same people, they after they killed him, they just took his idea for some kind of reason. Do you know Galileos?
I mean, Galileo.
Yeah, Galileos.
Okay, yeah, you're saying it the correct way, and I'm not. But yeah, okay.
The Romans killed him. The Romans, actually, the Christians, the Catholic Christians, they killed him. And the same system later on, they accept his idea, like the Earth is spinning.
How do you know that though? Have you done any primary source research to check that Galilei even existed?
He should exist, otherwise, why they should put him in books?
Because he's
It's
part
crazy.
Because he's part of the story. Yeah, he's part of the
Not really.
narrative.
Why they want to make you like somebody said that and we killed him, but later on he was right, because only in this case we can accept it. Even the Jesus, they had to kill him for we to accept him.
But it depends on your standards of evidence. So when you're talking about Jesus, in terms of what's documented about him, there's plenty of primary source evidence.
Yeah, but Jesus was a real person.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, but I wouldn't dispute that because there's plenty of primary source evidence for Jesus' existence. But I'm saying, by the same standard, would you say that you'd stand by the existence of Galileo? Would you say that there's lots of primary sources to say that he even existed, or do they only go back about 300 or 400 years? That's the question. I'm asking you, would you stand by him even existing?
Oh no, I don't know that.
Right, that's the point. He's inserted into the narrative in contradiction of how the world's expanding at the time, about maybe 400 years ago, in terms of if you look at when he comes into the narrative. Don't get me wrong, your timeline's correct about when they say he existed in the narrative, but about that time, they're literally expanding out the world and finding new territories, new worlds, with angles to stars and flat maps and flat charts and flat Earth systems. But then when you go through the historical timeline they give us, it's suggesting that we've known we're on a ball that was only calculated into existence 500 years ago in terms of the heliocentric model. Go on.
That's mean, do you believe we are in a flat Earth?
Well, that's just how it measures. So to create a ball in that model, so in the Copernican globe model going around the sun, the way the ball in that model comes to exist is because you've measured the plane of the Earth with angles to the stars. So you create the ball that's in the religion that's taught in the schools with measurements of a flat plane or a flat Earth.
Yeah, but everything is theory, because if they really, you see, my vocabulary is not really good for it in English. If we will talk Greek, it will be better. But anyway, if we really travel through the galaxy, like they say, that mean in the speed, in that speed which we travel, which is like really high speed, like millions of kilometers per hour. That's mean your eyes cannot see the Earth as a globe. It's not possible. You can see the Earth as a flat. But if you will stay inside the Earth gravity, and you can see it from like from a satellite, then yeah, you can just see it as a globe. But that again can be a lie at your eyes, because your eyes can see just 3 or 4% of our galaxy. You can understand just 7% of your planet, what is around you. You cannot see the microorganisms which are existing around. That's mean you don't know really what is real or not.
Well, you
And
don't see
because you
any of that
cannot
though.
see something, that doesn't mean it's not there. Or because you cannot listen to that thing, that
Sure, but
means there's no noise there.
that's not the view that you get though. So what you get as a view is the sky, right, with the stars in it.
Yes.
But you don't get a view looking back on Earth, do you?
No, you cannot look back on Earth.
Right,
Should be a myth.
but they tell you that they can, and the place that they're telling you they take pictures of Earth as a ball is a place that isn't real. So let me explain. So if you imagine the pictures that they give you to tell you that you're on a ball, so they're saying I've got a camera and I'm in outer space, a sky vacuum, taking a picture of a globe Earth, right? Well, on that picture you've got clouds and gases on the outside edge of the ball, and they're right next to a vacuum. Well, the high pressure gas would just fill the vacuum and there'd be no gas left on the blue marble. So the place that they're claiming to take the pictures from doesn't exist. There is no outer space. Yeah?
I agree with that anyway, because I never believed they visit the moon.
Well, they haven't.
That was a big lie between the Soviet Union and America at the time, because they wanted to fight, and because America didn't have the power to fight, they were like, let's don't fight. Let's see who is better to that. Let's go to the moon.
But they can't go there, or you cannot go there, as opposed to they just couldn't go there. And the reason I say that is because the area that they're claiming to travel to is a sky vacuum. So if you're going to claim you can get to the moon in that idea of a Copernican world that's a ball in a sky vacuum, then you've got to travel through an area that the gas you're breathing would also go into if you could travel through it. So we'd all be dead if there was really a vacuum to travel through.
But we cannot go anyway. It's not possible. It's like you taking out the fish from the water. It cannot exist. It doesn't exist. It's the same. We cannot go there.
I don't know. That's a good way of putting it, because I don't know the answer to that. What is the sky? I don't know. They say it's a vacuum with rockets and satellites in it.
No, it's just bullshit. But first of all, for we to know, we have to send somebody to see it. Then the person who's gone there, he gone there, but he died because he didn't know how to come back. It was experience. Then you cannot find the way to come back, as you don't know if you will be surviving there, where you're going. And also, how you will know it doesn't exist the oxygen or whatever for you to have the right liters of oxygen on you. And another thing is, like, if you're doing scuba diving, they give you oxygen for around 3-4 hours maximum. If you go up there, they give you oxygen for 15 hours. Are they crazy? Oh, wow.
But there is no up there to go to. The guys that claim to be up there in spacesuits, there's two problems. One, they're going past high pressure gas to look back at it, which would mean that we'd all be dead. We wouldn't have any gas pressure. The other claim that they're in orbit is the church's religion from Kepler and Huygens and Copernicus. So that idea of us being on a ball moving around the sun to be falling around the ball in orbit like they claim to be in a spacesuit is all mathematically derived from the church's maths to give them a better idea of when Easter will be. But 300 years from the final refinement of that system, the school kids are taught that they are actually on that mathematical model of a ball, and that the sky is genuinely a vacuum, and there are genuinely men in it floating around, falling around a ball. I mean, it's all nonsense. But that's the religion.
One thing which I am really sure about it is about our all our people. Most of us, we are actually not real in the way which I'm saying real. We are clones, because Hitler and Stalin, they done many experience of our grandparents and stuff.
Okay, I mean, what primary source evidence have you got for that? It's like back with Galileo. What have you got to prove it?
Millions.
Millions of
You
what?
have to know millions of proofs how many experience they done on the humans being.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're clones.
How will you know that?
Well, it's your claim. You prove it to me.
Yeah, but how you can say we are not?
I'm not saying it isn't either, But I'm saying if you're going to claim that
How you
we're all
can
clones,
say we are not an AI?
but it's up to you to prove that we are. If you say we are, I mean, I'm not going to say we're not either. I don't know, but I'm not the one claiming it.
Have blood, and because you feel like you have pain, that is just a brain thing which you believe on the pain as a kid because you fell down and you cry. But as you get older, sometimes you fell down, you have the pain, but you do not cry. Then in this case, the whatever you feel is just a brain thing. If
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
really,
I can go with that.
then you can be an AI. I can be an AI. Everybody can be an AI.
I mean, fair enough. If you want to believe that, that's fair enough. But it tends to be the case because
Do you believe at God?
no, I know there's a God. I was just about to say that the standard that I tend to go with is a much higher evidentiary standard. So when it comes to God, I can demonstrate why
But
there is a God.
you know, we don't have any proofs how the humans start
do.
existing on this planet.
This isn't normally my subject, but have you ever heard of something called the ontological primitives?
No.
There's only two ways that we could come to exist. These are the ontological primitives. Either nature created us, or an external entity created nature. Those are the only two options. Well, option one, nature creates itself, violates a law of nature. The first law of thermodynamics is violated by suggesting that there's a big bang and nature's puffed itself into existence. Well, you've only got one other alternative. It's a true dichotomy. If nature didn't create itself, there can only have been an external entity, aka a god, that created what we exist within. Now, you can describe that, if you choose to, as being an AI, but that's only comparative to what we have created in technology terms, to what is essentially just a creation, which you are a part of. But there must have been a creator. It's not a belief.
Okay.
Same goes when you asked about flat Earth. It's like, that's not a belief. The same applies to somebody who has a belief in being on a globe. You look at the origin measurements
But
and say,
you can believe to something which you don't know.
well, yeah,
Otherwise you know it and you cannot believe to it because you already know it.
exactly. It goes beyond belief if you know something. So in the case of how Earth is measured, you're not really looking at it in terms of how do I believe the Earth presents itself? Do I believe it presents itself as a curved surface or a flat surface? It's how is it measured?
You believe their words, whatever is them or they.
No, I just know how it's measured. So that's like with the standards with Galileo, you look at the historic standards. Can you do primary
I
source
know what
research?
you mean. I know you have your own opinion about. You don't go by what the NASA says today by all these videos on YouTube and stuff. But again, everything is a theory.
No. Theory
No.
is a specific term. So a theory comes after you've done an experiment in science. That's how you form a scientific theory. But there's a colloquial use of the word that suggests that if you've got a theory, you've got an idea about how something might work. But in science, you can only get theory if you've proven something. But that's not this category. So what I tend to discuss on my YouTube show is measurements. So with Earth, it's how is Earth measured? Earth is measured flat. How do the majority of people believe they're on a ball if the world's measured flat? Well, they use those measurements to create the ball with the utilization of a flat plane that you're measuring.
I believe it's not flat. I believe it's not also globe. I don't believe nothing. I just believe we just exist.
Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to believe whatever you like, but in terms of how Earth's measured, it's just measured flat. That's how the world is measured to be practically applied to things like traveling on it.
If it's flat or if it's globe, whatever it is, does that change something to your life?
Only if you are under the misapprehension that it's something it isn't. So if you know how it's measured...
No, I mean, if you know the truth, like let's say, okay, it's not globe but it's flat. Let's say that's the truth, okay? Then will that change our life? Will that be better for us or no?
Well, that's down to the individual. I mean, for me personally, knowing how Earth presents itself means I can look out for other deceit and deceptions where I know there's a massive lie about the fundamental nature of the world that I live in. So I can look out for other deception. But for you, it might not make the slightest bit of difference, but it's not really about
But
how it makes you feel.
but if it's flat, then these stars over there, there should be something, isn't it?
If it's flat, that's just how it's measured. So when you talk about the stars, we get angles to them. They're flat Earth measurements, like an angle to a star. Yeah, that's a flat Earth angle measurement. That's how they're actually utilised for navigation. So how are the maps created? Well, they're created with flat Earth angle measurements. So with that being said, it's then not about a belief anymore. Now, if you take those measurements and create a ball with them, you can believe you're on the ball that's created with the measurements. But for me, there's no belief involved. It's just how's Earth measured? Well, it's measured flat.
For me, it doesn't change something. It's the
That's
same
okay.
thing.
Other than up until 20 minutes ago, you thought you were on a ball, presumably, like you were part of the
No,
religion.
I don't. I never said that.
No, but what I mean is you were educated that way. That's why I asked how you were educated and where.
I am educated like everybody's educated like that, not
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah, so maybe you were unaware that that's the Western one world religion, but that's what it is. Heliocentrism is the one world religion that basically.
No, in reality, our planet has two different worlds: the east and the east and the west.
But they're
Two
not.
different, two completely two different people.
Well, no, I mean we're all on the same plane, but in terms of how it's mapped, you can map it in two different ways. You can map it with two different points above two different areas. But what we have expanded the world with into what they used to call new worlds were navigated with respect to the flat angles to the stars to expand the territory. So what we used to call new worlds are now sometimes referred to as undeveloped countries or developed countries, but they used to be third worlds, new worlds, because that's how we expanded our flat world with angles
Do you
to the
know
stars.
how you identify yourself as what country? Where are you coming from?
British.
British. All right. I said Greek. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I am more than sure you know before this land, which you call it now British, it didn't exist any name. Yeah. At some point, back at the time, it didn't have any name. Somebody named it. Okay. That person which named it was really clever. You know why he was clever?
Why?
Because he made people to think like this is patriotic thing and you have to fight for it because it's yours.
Right. I agree.
Okay.
Total nonsense concept. Totally arbitrary. I completely agree.
But actually it's not yours because one day you die and it's nothing yours, you know,
Right.
and it's nothing mine. But people, they forgot that shit. And they always, I don't know how the system know about it. They know how stupid we are and how easy to control us. Even now with the green energy, glass will make that hot which it will be on top. It will make also it will change the atmosphere around it. It will make it hotter. Okay, people they cannot realize that thing. They cannot find out why the climate is changing. By the way, they are so stupid, and I laugh sometimes with us. Like we are really idiots. We just believe whatever they say to us.
Well, because it's cleverly done within the language. So I'll give you an example. One of the words you just used was atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
Well, atmo is air, like we're breathing.
Yeah.
And sphere is a shape, right?
Yeah.
Well, air doesn't take any shape. It's unbonded particles of gas that are separated by nothing but space. So they're just moving
but
around.
That's the point, because they said it's a sphere. That means the atom is inside the sphere.
But it isn't. Gas fills space. Whatever the volume of the container is, that's what the gas will fill in its entirety. So it doesn't arbitrarily make the shape of a sphere, but just in our language, when we talk about the air that we're breathing, we refer it colloquially as atmosphere, but that suggests sphere-shaped air, which it isn't. The reason you've got that idea is so that you, when you, again, back to the religion that you were
But then
taught.
which is the right word?
Just air.
Just air?
That's all it is. It's just a mixture of gases. But because we're on a ball in that religion, we need the gas that's around the ball to stay in a ball shaped, even though it's not contained by anything.
But that what is around me at the moment is not just air.
Yeah, it is.
It's a place also. It's a room.
Sure, but I'm just saying, in terms of the overall system that the religions
But
taught you.
that's what the atmospheres mean. That's all my atmosphere around me. If my atmosphere in or the atmosphere in UK is dirty, has air pollution or something.
Yeah, that's just air.
Yeah, but I get it.
Well, that's a good example. So you're saying the air quality in the UK could be rubbish? Yeah, it could. Like you get smog, but that's air quality. But as soon as it ties back into the religion of being on a ball, you're describing sphere-shaped air next to a vacuum. So they put that word into your language so that you're always using common words that suggest you're on a ball with sphere-shaped gas around it, not going into a vacuum, because it just arbitrarily makes a sphere shape. Gas doesn't do that, though.
Yeah, but then in this case, if really we are on a flat Earth, then in the Bible it says the sun doesn't make shadow. Why we have shadow? Well,
I know what shadow is, but I'm just saying you're mixing standards. So, in terms of back to Jesus, I will accept that Jesus existed with a historic standard.
Yeah, but Bible was there before Jesus.
I know, but what I'm saying is this isn't a question that I can appeal to a historic standard to answer when it's a measurement question. It's not about did the Bible say there was a shadow from the sun, therefore is Earth flat? It's how is Earth measured? It is measured flat. That's what it is because that's how it's measured.
And you believe we have the glass on top?
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. But the only bit that wasn't what I took umbrage with. It's more the fact that you're saying atmosphere. It's just a useful way of showing you how they program you with language.
Yeah, I agree they am programmed as well as everybody else.
Yeah, it's not I'm not suggesting that's. You've took it well. Yeah, it's no slant on you because it's just common language, but it's used for a reason so that. You said earlier, well, we're all stupid. Well, we are and we aren't. We need to be constantly programmed in a certain way, and the words we use do that, like atmosphere, sphere-shaped air, which it isn't.
No, when I'm saying we are stupid, we are not stupid in a way stupid, but we are stupid in a way if we will see something on our screen which will be our life easier, we will be like, oh yeah, let's buy that shit.
Right.
And if even that shit will not be even helpful for us, like it's just turn off or turn on the lights, which you can just go there and press the button.
Yes.
But because you're such a lazy, you just want to do it by your fingers or something, you just go and waste your money by the capitalism system, which made you like that. But it's because they want you to be lazy, and they win that what they want. That is what I'm saying. They want us like that, and we play with this because we want to be lazy. We always want to be like that.
I completely agree. Absolutely correct. Yes, and that in that regard, yes, we're easily influenced. Yes, absolutely.
Even if they will say to us tomorrow the Earth is square, some people they will be like, okay, what we will win about it? Like, do we get a job? Do we have money? Yes, okay. The Earth is square. Finito la musica. It doesn't take any other subject,
Exactly. So people want to be told. Yeah, it's been. What's your name?
Jacob. But another thing, the school, it was, and it is a problem because school makes the kids to have closed mind, to be in four walls, and not be open mind. Even if the Earth is not globe, is flat or whatever, um, you have to be able to sit down and speak with the other person and not just have an argument like we have to fight. No, even when you see a political subject, you see always they fighting. Why they are fighting? Because they want to give you that message. You have to fight always. You have always to make a fight and not a subject, because when you fight, then you cannot have a subject, then we cannot work as a team. We cannot have a solution in a problem, you know? We can just have a problem. You know, that's it. They know very well how they play and they are very clever. The problem is us. What are we doing?
Yeah, you've got it spot on. It's problem, reaction, solution, and divide and conquer. Absolutely spot on. Did you say your name's Jake?
Jacob, yeah.
Jacob. It's been lovely talking to you, Jacob.
Nice to meet you too, mister.
Nathan Oakley's my name. You'll probably appear on YouTube, my friend. Check it out.
Okay.
Earth's flat, space is fake. Take it easy.
Cheers, man.